Hey there, folks. I'm Isaac, and my cold meter is going down or up.
Oh, and I'm Claire, and I can't jump.
And this is Make That Game,
where we pitch the latest,
the greatest
new video game ideas
that won't ever get made.
Ooh.
Wow. No, we don't make them. We just give you ideas.
We just give you ideas.
Give you, the listener listening right now, we make a unique episode for each listener. No two people have ever heard the same episode.
That would be wild, and also a really hard way to build an audience.
Yeah, it would be, but the audience that we'd get would be very loyal.
Well, yes and no, because they'd only have one episode to listen to, so...
No, they'd each have 118 unique episodes.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I see. Okay.
Yeah. What else could I possibly mean there?
Yeah. Well, one thing that we started doing with our pitching ideas of video games, which is how we start off this podcast, is themes.
Mm-hmm.
And we decided off screen that the theme for this week would be snow, since it's snowing here.
Yes, it's very cold.
It's cold and snowy, huh?
So, okay, question,
yeah.
Cold meter. Okay, if there's a game, all right, mechanically, you've got a cold meter.
Yeah.
Would you be expecting that to go up as your character gets colder, or going down as your character gets closer to like the consequences of cold?
I think if it's called a cold meter, it should go up.
It should go up as your character gets colder.
Yes. If it's called a temperature meter, then it would go down.
Okay.
As you get cold, but it would also imply that there would be a heat mechanic as well.
Yes. And I think that's how Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom do it.
No.
No?
I don't think so. I think they have a pie chart on your health bar that moves, and it's red when it's hot and blue when it's cold, but it goes up.
Both times?
I think so.
I'm pretty sure it's like it's a meter of temperature.
I'm gonna look it up because we have the internet.
We're looking it up, folks. Can you believe it?
A podcast I listen to has elevator music play when they do things like this, and I think that's fun.
Wait, no, that's not.
That's Jeopardy. I mean,
yeah.
A legally distinct.
Yeah, that definitely not something that would get us copyright striked by Jeopardy. Do you think like podcast text? I don't know. There's got to be some way for like big corpos to just kind of like
up.
Trail the entire thing, but it also goes down.
It goes down when you're less cold. It goes up when you're more cold.
Right. Yeah.
So that's yeah.
No, wait.
Yeah.
No, the gauge starts in the middle. See the line, like the clock arrow?
Oh.
The hand of the clock.
I'd have to
goes
play it.
Down. And then when you're in the blue zone, the blue zone is the danger zone.
Okay. What were you talking about before I showed you the picture? Something completely different?
Yeah, I was just thinking about copyright strikes and stuff, and like, can corpos like just Google like who's using our IP? Probably not, right?
No, probably not.
Anyways, all right. So the theme is snow, and I'd like to hear your snow-themed game idea.
Great.
For the audience of one.
I wrote it down.
Remember, folks, this is unique for each person in the world.
I don't like when you lie on the podcast. I just have this thing where you have to tell the truth. Like, you can do a bit, but then you have to be like, we're just kidding here, folks.
No, but I'm always just kidding. That's the thing.
No,
I'm the roguish.
I just in this era of media literacy, I just need us always to tell the truth.
Okay, all right, fine.
That's why we can't pretend the Tartarians are real. Okay.
Okay.
I didn't really name this game, but I did put it snow in quotation marks, so maybe that's just the name, and that's not very creative. But anyway, I thought I've been playing Another Crab's Treasure, which is a Souls-like, but with a crab.
Yep.
And I'm like, let's make a Souls-like.
Oh, geez.
So.
Oh no, we're going there.
In this game,
we finally gotten there.
Yeah. So what makes a Souls-like a Souls-like? It's based on the Dark Souls cabinet of games, I guess. That's not
a cabinet of games. That's what we call it. Yeah, the Dark Souls cabinet of games.
And basically, see if I get this right, because I haven't played a lot. So it involves really hard bosses and fights and dying a lot. Like, you're expected to die a lot in these games. Points where you can heal / level up throughout the game that are also teleport points. And that's pretty much a Souls-like. Am I on to something here? What am I
Yeah.
missing? What am I
Yeah.
missing from the description?
It's not necessarily what you're missing. It's just that I feel that there's a lot of nuance being... I feel like calling it difficult, right?
Okay. Oh, right. Sorry. You described this to me last time I said this. So you said, no, it's that there's like specific patterns to the bosses that you have to... That once you figure out, you like crack the case.
Yeah, and like expected to die a lot, like no.
I feel like you are. No, I feel like that's
not necessarily.
When I play Nether's Crab's Treasure, it has pop-ups that tell me exactly that. They're like, this game's supposed to be hard. Don't be discouraged if you die all the time.
No, okay, all right. Well, that's for some. I'm not everyone dies all the time in
Yeah,
these
if you're
games.
really good at it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I was
And if you're really good at
it,
they're not really that difficult.
okay. Well, but I feel like a game that you have to be really good at to not die means it is difficult.
No, I think you're
Yeah.
okay. I'll give you that
Because
one.
otherwise, what are we even talking about? Okay. Anyway, so in this one, you're a snowman.
Are you Frosty specifically?
No.
Do you have
'Cause
different
there's
magic
multiple-
hats to equip?
No, there's lots of... So this is kind of... I mean, I've been playing another Crab's Treasure, but it's also more... I think it's more based in my head on Elden Ring.
Okay. All right. Okay.
And so you start as like this very like yucky looking snowman. Like you don't got lots of snow. You kind of just twigs. And, like,
Oh my
a little
God.
ice. And then when you when you upgrade, you get more bulky.
Okay.
You frost up.
Okay. Wait. Okay. So in like Dark Souls,
Yeah.
right? There's this mechanic called humanity, and you either have humanity or you don't. You're hollow if you don't have
Yeah.
humanity.
Yeah.
So as a hollow, you're like a shriveled corpse-like character. And
That's
when you
kind of
have
what I was
humanity,
thinking about, yes.
You like have skin.
Okay, so maybe not just Elden Ring, because I have watched Dark Souls.
I can't remember off the top of my head if Elden Ring has the humanity mechanic, but I would say
It doesn't.
that's
I don't think
it doesn't.
I don't,
Okay.
I don't think so. If
And-
it does, I never got there.
And the idea is like humanity is an item, you use it, and then whenever you die, you lose humanity and have
So that's
to yeah.
So you and like your weapons and stuff like for magic, it's like, oh, you get a different scarf or like a cool new nose. That stuff.
So that's your inventory, like
yeah.
your equipment screen.
Right.
Is you're
It's
equipping
like-
different noses, hats, and scarves.
and arms and because you're
Oh, and
you're a
arms.
snowman, so you can have
Oh.
like saw arm or something. I do think so. Like it sounds cute, but it's not. Like it's actually not.
You want it to
supposed
be grim
cute.
and dark.
Yes, it's a
Okay.
grim dark snowman.
Okay, you want it to
Souls
have the
like-
Souls aesthetic.
Exactly.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
I'm
so
in.
villains include winter beasts. So like I'm thinking like giant, like a yeti, like a giant wolf.
Okay. Reindeer
Yeah, evil reindeer. Also the sun.
is an enemy.
Yes, and like
You
that,
kill the sun, or is like
that would be a fun final boss.
It's like an
actually.
obstacle.
But it's like an obstacle. So like when you're traveling around, if you get like directly in a sunbeam, you'll start to melt and you can lose.
so if your heat meter gets too high.
There
See,
you
I'm
go.
bringing it back.
You brought it back. Yeah. So that's that. Yeah. So like that's kind of an obstacle in different puzzles and areas because if you're in the sun too long, you'll start to melt and then you're losing that quote unquote humanity / snow buildup that you want to keep.
Mm-hmm.
And then the fire areas, like the little places where you go and like heal and get your
Yeah.
upgrades, are igloos, and they're lit by fairies because you can't have fire because you'd melt.
Yes, correct.
So fairies are in this game too.
Okay,
and
yeah,
they just kind of help you out.
Okay, the fairies like the snowmen,
Yeah.
but hate wolves.
And I didn't know exactly why you're here, though. I haven't really come up with that. I do like the idea of maybe you kill the sun. That's funny. I was also thinking there's that creepy Disney movie where like your dad is a snowman. Like
Oh, geez.
You know, like the family, their
yeah,
dad
you're
dies
like a ghost.
and he comes back as a snowman. So I'm kind of like maybe this is some kind of weird purgatory
Okay.
to kind of lean on the souls. Like again, I want it to be grimdark. This isn't supposed to be la la la.
No, this is not happy-go-lucky.
No.
No.
So anyway, that's pretty much everything I had for snow.
Okay. It's called Dark Snow
Dark snow. Ooh, I actually like that.
or Demon Snow.
No, I like dark snow.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Snowden Ring.
Dark snow, snow dark. Like grimdark, but snow
Oh,
dark.
okay. All right. Okay.
Anyway, that's my game about snow. What did you come up with for a game about snow?
My game is called A Game About Snow.
Oh, we're so good at the names
And
today.
It's
Yeah.
So, all right, this is the school. If you remember the episode where I talk about like the school of game idea coming up with like the
Yes.
3 schools or whatever.
I remember it. Do you, listener, single listener? Sorry.
This is the take one thing and hyper focus on it so much that is the whole game.
Well, for example, mine was take a mechanic of a game you like and reskin it. That's what I did.
Yeah.
Or like not a mechanic, but like take a game genre and like
and just reskin it and then give it a unique twist. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the idea of like snow itself. This game is just it's a survival game first and foremost, but its like thing is that the actual snow simulation and mechanics is like driven up to the maximum capability of technology at our time. So like snow packs and falls and gets pushed around as you move, and there's footprints, and like you build like structures like igloos and stuff out of snow using melting to create like the layers of ice and all that. Wow. And it's basically just like everything that snow can do, like as much as computers are capable of, this game simulates that. And you have to like you just are gathering resources and using snow to your advantage to survive in like an Arctic wasteland scenario.
It's like Subnautica but snow.
Yes. Yeah.
So a very hyper realistic snow survival game.
Yep. And one thing that I think would be very interesting about this is, you know, having different snow traversal devices like snowshoes and skis and stuff, and like with skis and snowboards and even snowmobiles and the like, the sick ramps you could build packing snow and like adding ice layers and like the way that you would be able to shape things and all that. I think that would be really cool. I think people would have a lot of fun just building like cool race tracks basically, and like uploading those servers so that other people can join and like do their race tracks. And I think that would be really cool. Like people do that like with Minecraft where they'll make like adventure.
Okay, so it's like so it's an online game?
All survival games.
I don't think
online.
Subnautica is.
Hold on. Subnautica's got to have multiplayer. I'm looking this up.
Okay,
Subnautica 2 has multiplayer built in, and there are mods for Subnautica that allow multiplayer. In my head, survival games, like a key feature of it is the play with your friends aspect, like Valheim and Ark and
interesting.
All the other ones
that, way,
that are definitely out there that I can think of.
I think it's because the only one I've ever played is Subnautica, although it was Subnautica 2, so I don't know. I just didn't know that you could go
it's
online.
Not Subnautica 1? Mm-mm. Oh.
Yeah, we got Subnautica 2. I don't remember why. It might have been on like a PlayStation sale.
It was probably on sale, yeah. Okay, well, interesting, folks. I don't know how we got off on the Subnautica
because
tangent.
You were talking about your survival game, and I was like, this is the frame of reference that I have for a survival game.
With my survival game, it's required for the ability for other people to play your sick snow ramp
gotcha.
levels.
Gotcha.
So
it's like Subnautica meets Mario Maker.
Yes.
A little.
Yes, and to that extent, actually, here, one thing that this will have, like, you will be able to save, like, the current state of your server, we'll call it.
Okay.
And then, like, pass that specifically around. Because if multiple people are playing, like, it's snow. So if someone, like, takes a snowmobile through your snowmobile racetrack, they're going to cause some damage to it. So you press the big reset button for the next group of people to take it. All right. Well, anyways, that's that's our game idea sequence. We kept getting distracted. Sorry, folks.
Yeah, I mean, it's only episode 2 of season 4.
Yeah,
season 4, right?
Season.
I think I accidentally marked it as 5, but I think it's 4.
I thought it was only 3.
Is it 3? Maybe it's 3.
Well, we'll find out.
We'll figure it out. Don't worry about it.
I'm still sick. You're a little sick.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're getting into the groove in adverse circumstances, folks.
We're
trying our best.
Just
let's not even get started on 2025. Let's talk about something positive. Let's bonk the relentless crap out of some game that someone made.
That sounds great. All right. Well, I am going to do that, and I chose.
But there will be honks.
There will be honks. So, a honk is a good thing, a thing we like about the game.
Yeah.
And it's called that because Isaac associates that with like a honk if you like this bumper sticker. And then a bonk is something we don't like about it.
Have we talked about on podcast how, and like, I don't think that this is like an actual like neurodivergent thing, but I saw like a tweet in the last few months or a post somewhere, maybe it was a Tumblr post, but it was like being neurotypical is knowing like what honk if you like X actually means.
Okay, I don't think that's real. We haven't talked about this on the podcast.
Okay,
I don't think
like I
that's
said,
real.
I don't think that this is actually like a sign of neurodivergency or whatever.
And I think it's a sign of just people who have a pessimistic outlook on life, because I don't think that's real. I don't think.
So to give people context,
This is such a tangent.
The way that I have naturally interpreted that is, if you see the bumper sticker and let's say honk if you like pizza. If you see the bumper sticker and like pizza, you should honk your horn. Okay? That's like my initial interpretation of it. The like supposedly normal interpretation of it is if like it's making fun of you for honking at if they hear you honking.
Yeah, it's saying like, oh, you're not honking at me, you're honking because you like pizza.
Yeah, it's like justifying like you honk. It's to like it's mocking you.
I just don't think that's true. I just don't think that's true, because so many people don't think that. Like, this became viral because almost everyone on the internet disagreed.
Oh, I have not seen the context. I just saw the standalone kind of like
oh
post.
Yeah, like
I haven't seen any debate or discussion
almost everyone
about
who's like debated about it is like, oh, I guess I'm not neurotypical. Like, I've not seen anyone be like, obviously that's what it means. Like, I think this is just like rage bait.
So
maybe
I guess it depends on if it's like honk if you like pizza, then but if it's like honk if you're a butt face or something, then it's definitely the latter thing.
Right.
It's definitely like, if you're honking at me, you are
but
calling
that's
yourself
like, again,
a
that's
butt
understandable.
Face.
Like, I would see that and get the joke immediately.
That's true. That is,
I used
you're
to have
right.
a bumper
correct,
sticker
actually.
that said honk if Pluto is a planet. I had that.
Oh, that one's hard to interpret.
Yeah.
That one, do you want people to honk, or are you making fun of people who honk at
Mostly
you?
I just wanted people to know that I will always have Pluto as a planet in my heart.
Okay, fair. Okay. That's why they're honks, though.
Yeah.
to bring it back to the beginning, honks are good because you honk if you like it.
Yeah.
And bonk is bad because the clown bonks you if you're naughty.
The clown. Okay, so
the clown that lives in your closet
I'm gonna honk and
punishes
bonk.
naughty kids.
Okay. I'm gonna honk and bonk Life is Strange Double Exposure.
Whoa.
Which is the 4th Life is Strange game, like mainline game. Would you count Before the Storm?
I think that counts as its own game.
So then it's the 5th game.
Yeah, I don't count like Captain Underpants or whatever the heck that was. That was like
Captain
literally just like a
Underpants.
lead in.
Oh yeah, for sure. No, I think it's considered a DLC.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. Screw that.
Okay. So yeah, so the 5th game, but it is a continuation of the 1st. So it's a continuation of Life is Strange 1, basically.
Yeah.
With the same main character 10 years later. And yeah, I'm just gonna, so spoilers abound. Life is Strange Double Exposure, again, takes place 10 years after Max Caulfield, our fearless protagonist. That's the word I was looking for.
You could almost call her a deuteragonist. Deuteragonist?
I don't know what that means.
Okay, well we'll circle back around.
Okay.
All right, continue on.
Circle back. Okay. And she's going to art school in Vermont as a grad student /
New England represent.
I know. Unclear to me. Like, I think
Isn't she a professor?
So,
she's not going to the school, right?
She is teaching.
She's like a guest lecturer.
Yeah, I think she's a guest lecturer, but she does hang out with the grad students all the time. So I'm not like, they're her friends. So I'm not really sure what is the situation there. But anyway, she's at this school. Her friend, again, spoilers ahead, her friend gets shot and she's trying to solve the mystery because that's just what she does. But in doing so, she finds out she has new powers. So her old powers used to be rewind time. And her new powers are she can shift into different realities. Mm-hmm. So when
there's only one different reality, right?
Yeah, there's one different. So there's 2 realities she can shift in and out of, and she's not duplicated. So like, if she's not in one reality, then she's not there, you know. And anyway, that's all you really need to know.
That opens up so many questions for me, but this is not the time or the place to ask them.
But you can do that after, because I love to talk about it. But what I will talk about now is my honks and bonks. So to start with the honks, I really liked the traversing two worlds mechanic. I thought that was really fun.
Okay.
Like you can do like get information in one world and then move to the other and then like use that information and back and forth. And it kind of felt like Oracle of Seasons in a way, where like, oh, when it's summer you can do this, and when it's winter you can do a different thing. And
oh yeah,
so,
yeah. Well, wait till you play Oracle of Ages.
Oh.
Which I guess you're not switching between ages in this life. Okay, never mind.
Oh,
it's
okay.
still Oracle of Ages is you're going back and forth into locations in time, and it's never mind. All right,
no,
continue.
I mean it could be. But the other thing is like you can also take objects from one era and bring it to like from one universe and bring it to the
crazy.
other. Which
can
I
you
do
bring people?
think it didn't happen, but I think maybe you could.
Oh my God! Could you imagine if you just grabbed
anyone really?
I can't remember any characters' names. I can describe them, but I'm not sure.
Yeah. Well, and I will say some of the puzzle solving with grabbing stuff was not as good. Like there was one where you had to get a step ladder, and it's like I could probably have found a step ladder in that reality. Like I probably didn't have to shift realities to get a step ladder, right?
No,
that's a
actually,
little silly.
The other reality, step ladders were never invented.
Never got invented.
So
no.
You'd think that there would be a larger divergence, but it turns out that step ladders aren't that important for human development. So
anyway, well, that would also imply step ladders were invented like the day before the incident, because that's when the timeline split.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay, the other thing I liked, and this is more of a PS5 honk, but we played it on the PS5, and the integration with the controllers I really liked. So when you're playing, there's like a little icon at the top of the screen that tells you which reality you're in so you don't forget. But that icon is colored, and the controller would would have lights of the color of that universe you were in as well.
Ooh.
And I will say that was helpful. Like I would glance at that occasionally to be like, oh, okay, that's where I am. Like as you get in the game and you're moving back and forth more times, it was actually really helpful.
Did the controller have any other integrations?
It did.
With the game.
Yes.
Oh, it did.
Yes, it did. It also had audio integrations.
Oh.
So to find the spaces, because you can't just on a whim go between worlds. You have to find like a rip basically that you can tear open. There are many of them, but the controller will make a sound and get like a humming, and it'll get louder as you get closer to the rip, so you can find places to traverse the universe.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was observing, and so you could see near the rips. I think you could see the other universe.
Oh, that was a different mechanic.
But okay, so there's no controller integration like that. Like you can, like, I don't think I ever saw this, but in my head, I'm thinking it would be really cool if like you could hear conversations from the other universe, like specifically through the controller. You
can. I think you can.
Oh, I don't know. See, that would be cool.
I don't know if it's through the controller though, but you can hear conversations.
I think if it's through the controller, that's like ethereal, that's otherworldly,
and I can't remember.
There's no mistaking it with this universe conversation.
Yeah. Well, and I will say that was confusing. I mean, I think it's a cool part of the game that you can overhear cross-universal conversations, but it did make the game kind of confusing. Like I was like, what? Who's talking? What's happening? I don't know what's going on.
Oh, the ghost on the bench over there.
Yeah, really.
Better find a rip.
Okay, the other thing is this game had really good, like, I guess note-taking is a way to describe it. We've talked about this before as a mechanic. It's like recording your game progress and being able to look back at what's going on. So it has Max's journal, which is, I mean, all the Life is Strange games have a journal where you can read what happened.
From the character's perspective, too. So
but
in-character
this one also had a notes section where Max was, like, keeping notes on, like, basically each universe's person, which made it easier if you like forgot like, oh, which universe Loretta is making this podcast or whatever it is. Like that was helpful. And then there's a lot of text going back and forth, and in the first game you can read text but you can't really do anything else, but in this one you can also respond to text and like
which
have
is cool.
Choice options for the texts as well as
But
talking.
for some reason, you can never, while you're drunk, text your ex.
You really should be able to drunk text your ex in this game. That's a big bonk. Oh, the other thing I liked is I actually, and Isaac maybe disagrees with me, but he hasn't played it yet. But I liked that Max had different powers in this game than in.
I think it's silly.
I liked it.
I think it's ridiculous.
I think it created some interesting friction between the first game and this one, because in the first game, if you make a choice you don't like, you can always rewind it. And in this one, you can't. And so, like, I don't know, it feels like a completely different gameplay, but you kind of have to get in the habit of not being able to walk back your choices, which I thought was interesting.
All right, but let's think about this. Let's say you're watching a show, let's say The Flash, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then halfway through the season 2, Flash is like, well, I haven't ran fast in a long time, but now I can shoot laser eye beams, and you're like, what? This isn't the character
I don't know
that I signed up for.
Okay. I mean, I don't know if I see Max's time travel as like as character connected to her herself as the Flash's speed, but I also would say that superheroes do usually get higher level powers over time.
Yes, they get more powers. They don't change powers.
It's not that she could never do it again. She just has trouble because she hasn't been using it. That's what it's implied anyway.
Yeah. Which, silly, ridiculous. I mean, okay, I get the idea of being rusty, but you should be able to de-rust.
I mean, she did.
It's a cool power.
She did time
with lots
travel.
of useful.
She time traveled to a photo once, so she did do it.
Lots of useful. That's a phrase I used. Okay, good that she at least did it once, but...
Yeah. Anyway, my final honk.
Okay, the final good thing about this game
is I like that it kept both endings of the original game canon. So a big part
They should have done a dragon break.
Okay. We did talk about that on the podcast already. But basically, like, you can, in the beginning of this game, you select through a couple of dialogue options what you did in the other game, or basically how you want this universe to exist. Yeah. And then it can exist either way. And I think that's really nice, especially because people are very tied to their choices from the first game. Bay or Bay. Very classic.
Yeah.
Basically, you have to save Arcadia Bay or save Max's Bay, Chloe.
Yeah. I do like it when games do that. I don't think it's as cool as a Dragon Break, where they basically just say, yes, it all happened. No, we won't explain how that's possible. And we just won't make anything come up ever again. But like Witcher 3, I've never played Witcher 1 or 2. So there was no like save data for it to read off of. So it has a sequence where it asks you like what you did in the previous game. So it lets you, having never played, still like kind of imagine your way through previous adventures. Like they give you just enough. They're like, and then when you confronted the Mad King of Alrazar, like, did you kill him or what happened there? And then you get to choose like, oh, well, it sounds like I want my Geralt to have killed the Mad King. The Male King. The King of the Postmen. All right, sorry. All right. Let's talk about the bonks. Let's talk about the things that we want the evil bed clown to smash in half with a baseball bat.
So I think they don't use the camera as a mechanic enough / at all.
It should be the main focal point for like how you cross universes.
Okay, so the whole it's called Max is a photographer, right? Okay,
yeah.
Great. And double exposure is a photography thing where you take a picture and then you, instead of like advancing the film along, you basically take another picture over that same exposed frame. So you expose the film twice.
Yeah.
Double exposure. And it can create some really cool ethereal effects, and it's very fun. And in the game, Max has a camera that can do this, and it's like you can take pictures and do double exposures as like a side quest or like for fun, as like a collectible, but you can't do it. It doesn't mean anything. Like I thought it's like, oh, you should be able to see secrets from the other universe, or like, I don't.
Imagine this. Imagine if the mechanism for bringing things and people between things is using the double exposure. You take a photo from one universe, and then you take a photo, and then like the double exposure like connects to the other universe. So you take a picture of like a bench, and one of your friends is sitting on the bench in the other universe. So the first picture, bench empty. Then
Yeah.
the double exposed, it connects to the other universe. Your friend is there. Now, boom, in that bench, you've created your friend in the original universe.
That could have been cool. Well, and that actually brings up a bonk I forgot to write down, but I'm going to keep bonking this first. So you do use this to some extent, kind of the way you describe a little.
Oh, that's cool then.
No, because it's literally only in the finale, and it's one of those things where like you just do it. Like there's no puzzle to it. Like it's just like take a double exposure of this person to free them from the torture. And you're like,
free them from torture? What?
Okay. Pretty much.
Oh my god. What?
I mean, I have more to say about the finale, but you reminded me there's 2 instances in this game where Max uses her power to swap an object from one universe to another. Like in an example, she swaps a frozen lake for an unfrozen lake. Like,
okay, dope.
We use that twice, and that's it in the whole game.
The whole lake?
The whole lake.
You swap an entire lake between universes?
Yes. And then never use that power again.
That's powerful. Wow. That's
But like you'd think
ridiculous.
that would be a power that you would like. I thought once it was introduced that it would be like something we'd have to use to solve puzzles going forward.
Imagine if you were like, okay, so I switched a lake between universes. Hold on, let's see. Well, in the other universe, Professor Gwen or whatever is really like nice to me, but this one she kind of hates me.
Yeah, so you could switch like, oh, I can like get different answers. I don't know. It would have been cool.
Let me bring Professor Gwen from this universe or from the other universe into this universe, and she'll unlock her office for me because she's got keys, like that kind of stuff. But like, I don't know. Does the lake know it transferred universes? Are there
maybe
fish
the fish
in there that are like
fish probably
like,
know
because like the universe, because you, as you said,
also,
it only split like a little bit,
right? But it's like, did she transfer just the water, or did she transfer like the whole?
That's very big question.
Big question, but still, again,
like
really
would
leaving.
No,
you're really leaving mechanics on the table, is what I'm saying. The other thing is, I do think it misses a lot of opportunities for like. I mean, it's taking such good notes in the back end. They only have one very contrived part in the game where you actually like can forget that like which universe you're talking to someone in, and you like accidentally say like, well, you have dialogue options that relate to the other universe, and they're like, what are you talking about? But like that should happen more. Like that should be a frequent thing. There's literally one time when that can happen.
Yeah, they should set all kinds of dialogue traps.
Yeah,
for
and
you.
it's very contrived too when it happens. Like it's literally just like haha for fun. Like, and that, I think that part was in some of the promo stuff for it, so I thought that would be a big mechanic, is trying to remember which universe you're in, and it's not a mechanic at all.
It sounds like if you were really trying to sell I talk about this all the time, using mechanics to sell like feeling and stuff.
Yeah.
If you really want it to feel like you're traversing between multiple universes, that's just what you do. That's like a very simple mechanic to add. It's part of the dialogue system. You just throw in a couple traps, and I understand that just increases the amount of voice lines that you need to write, like script and record and edit and like program into the game. But like it's just extra content that slots in. So this is one of those things where maybe there's a DLC or like a remaster where they do that in the future, or they do like a director's cut edition, which is just like the tricky way of saying, yeah, we didn't quite get all the content that we wanted to fit in, but now that it's been out for a year or two, we can justify like putting that content back in. Like, we finished it, folks, and now we're going to sell it to you again for the same price. Really.
So I also thought that, so we got the deluxe edition, which had cat content. It was like, oh, you get cat content. And it really left a lot to be desired. Like, they also did not integrate that very well. I felt like you find a stray cat, you get to do like 2 things with it, and then you give it back. You like find the owner and give it back. But it's not like a quest. There's not a lot you can do with the cat. Yeah. And it's like $20 extra if you bought the game at full price.
Wow. But like, that's not the only thing that the $20 gives you, right?
There's a couple outfits it comes with too. That's it. That's it. That's all. So that was leaving a lot to be desired. And the cat was very cute, but I thought you'd be able to do more with it. But I think it also is because the cat lives at your apartment, and you can't visit your apartment on purpose. So like,
what?
So like you can walk around campus and like pretty much explore wherever, but your apartment is like a different location. Like you can't like choose to go there. Like the game has to take you there. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, that makes sense. That's just the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
Well, it's the same in the first game too. There's a lot of locations you can't just like go to.
No, but like that game never set it up as like you could traverse wherever. It like put you at the school.
Yeah.
And then you did stuff at the school until you needed to go to.
Well, yeah, I guess that's the same as this game. It's just like.
Oh, okay. You made it sound like you had more free for traversal of.
No.
Like.
But I just feel like if you're going to have a cat mechanic, like you have to let me visit the cat whenever I want.
Yeah. Pet the cat always. Carry it in a little pouch.
It only has.
A
Yeah.
little cat pack.
Why couldn't she be bringing the cat with her? I don't know. So, and then my final bonk is a big one. I just felt like the ending, the climax, left a ton to be desired. Like.
The climax.
So like most of the game, she did reference the first game a lot. Like it's her trauma she's going through. But, you know, it's got new mechanics. It's got new characters, all this stuff. The end really leaned on the ending of the first game and like was bringing back images from that. And like there was even this one part where you sit in a chair and you're quote unquote trapped in the chair until you like look at every object and then you just leave the chair. And it's like that wasn't even
What?
Yeah, or I guess you like it was nothing. It was a big nothing burger. Like a lot of it was the ending of the first game is really hard. Like you have to do a lot of stealth missions. There's like puzzles to I don't know. It's challenging, it's emotionally challenging. It's a lot and it leads up to this really really big decision. And Captain Lauren, actually someone I follow on TikTok, she also has a YouTube, but she talks a lot about Life is Strange and she brought up a good point about the end where like the choice itself at the end is like not a big deal. Like no matter what you choose.
It's not Bay versus Bay.
No, it's literally like I'm not going to go into the whole story, but like basically you either agree with Safi or you don't. And either way, Safi still leaves to like do something else. So it's like.
Do you at least follow her?
No. No. It's just like, she's like, when I come back, will you be with me or against me? And then you get to pick that. And it's like it's not satisfying, and
that's meaningless.
Yeah.
That's a meaningless choice.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Unless you then have the next chapter that you immediately do, because like either there's going to be DLC, which is going to like link into the same save file, or like they're going to have Life is Strange Double Exposure 2, and you're going to sign in. And it's going to be like, did you side with Safi or not? And you're going to be like,
I mean, they did say at the end of the game, it's like Max Caulfield will return. So they're going to make something else.
Yeah, but it just feels like you're going to make the same decision with the exact same, like with more gravity. But like, it's the difference between the Bay versus Bay and then the Bay versus Bay at the beginning of this game. Because you do make that choice, yes. But like, It means nothing really in double exposure compared to the original Life is Strange.
Right.
And somehow they gave like the same emotional weight and gravity from what it sounds like to the final choice as the, hey, just wondering, in the previous game, what did you pick?
Yeah.
Like,
no, it's not great. And, but I did decide that I wanted to start doing with Honks and Bonks a compliment sandwich because I like starting with Honks. Because it kind of sets the stage for the game. But then when we end with Bonks, it always seems like we hate the game.
You're right. Compliment sandwich is very important.
So here's my here's the bread on the top. I did have a lot of fun playing it. It was very fun. Yeah. And I'm very much looking forward to replaying it, mostly because of what you just talked about, which is the choice of like... So every time I've played Life is Strange, which is twice, I choose Chloe Bay over Arcadia Bay. But as I was reading like blogs and stuff about this game, and a lot of people say that it's better if you pick that you chose Arcadia Bay. Like the gameplay is more interesting and there's like some interesting story.
Oh, really?
So I do want to replay it with that in mind and just see what I can do.
Well, that's interesting. Maybe it's to compensate for the fact that they have the exact data that 75% of all players chose Chloe.
Yeah.
I actually don't know the exact number.
It's actually pretty close to 50-50.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think it is in favor of choosing Chloe, but it's...
Yeah, I got to figure that it's like many people probably played twice, so that's going to bring you closer to 50%. And then like the tipping point is the people who only played one time, and they were like, all right, yeah, I pick Chloe.
It was interesting to play this game because they do show you your choice percent, like the percent of people who've picked the choices you have. Like they compare your choices to the gaming community, and it was interesting to play this game because it still was new. Like it was only out for a couple months when I played, so like the data isn't as robust as like when you play Life is Strange. There's like so much.
People
data.
have already played so much.
And I was I was mad because I kept making very basic choices. Like I'm doing everything that 75% of people do. Okay, well, so that's what I thought about Life is Strange Double Exposure.
Yay! All right, well, you know what that means.
Yeah, it's time for our final segment of the show, the rapid fire round.
Would you consider plugs their own segment?
No.
I would.
Oh, I think of them more as like an epilogue.
Okay, well.
Because I like to sprinkle them in. I like to remind people we have a Twitch, twitch.tv/makethatgame. You know, occasionally.
We can't do a little bit of plugs now. Okay, I got the timer ready. Okay. That did buy me enough time for that.
Well, I'm ready. Are you ready?
All right.
Wait, we didn't tell them what the rapid fire round is.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead. Tell them.
It's when we generate 3 random words. We have 5 minutes to come up with a game idea based on those 3 words. Come up with a name for that game and come up with a gameplay loop. All right, now we're ready. I'm
going to start the timer in 3, 2, 1.
Okay. Our first 3 words
and
are...
go.
Oh. Okay.
Got them.
Network, humor, flower.
Okay. The 4 humors. Frolic, woe,
malice.
dread, and malice. Okay, that's the starting point. You grow a network of flowers.
Uh-huh.
So the flowers are all sharing one root system.
Okay, so the flowers are like a
no, that's the 4 tempers. The 4 humors are a different thing. That's a Greek thing.
But they're based on, I think the tempers are based on the... Do you want me to look up the 4 humors from the Greek thing? I don't remember what they're called. They have weird names.
Yeah, what are... Let's start with the baseline of what the 4 humors are.
Okay. I just need a list. My Wikipedia gave me like an entire essay, and I just need the list.
Yeah, an article.
Okay. Phlegmat, sanguine, choleric, and melanch.
Melange?
It's MELANC.
Oh. Okay. Okay, anyways. That's basically the 4 tempers, so let's just use our knowledge of the tempers to translate.
Okay. Yeah,
why does Lewis go crazy? Okay. Anyways.
It's phlegm, blood, yellow bile, and black bile.
Yes. So you have green, red, yellow, and black flowers.
Uh-huh.
And you plant gardens. Okay, you're a traveling gardener. You plant gardens in people's backyards mapped to like...
To heal them?
To heal them.
Ooh, okay, yeah.
To balance their humors. So like you go into the backyard and like someone's got like a bunch of green flowers and you're like, no, we need
to
some
balance the humors. Maybe sometimes you weed the garden too.
And you weed the garden. And so like a garden is made of a number of plots, right? And you have to balance the plots, but maybe each character that you're doing... the part that I don't know is like, are you literally just figuring out a way to even out like, oh, there's 16 plots. There needs to be 4 plots of each color. Or does each character have a number of plots of each color that you're supposed to do? But then how do you figure that out?
I think it's going to be character based.
Do you sneak into their bedrooms and read their diaries?
Well, maybe like you talk to them, like you're a doctor, kind of, and also plants. So you'd like meet with them first, and then there'd be like clues. So I think the gameplay loop, because correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we're hitting close to 5 here.
We've got 1 minute and 48 seconds left.
We need to use that for a title. So the gameplay loop is you go house to house, you interview the person, you ask some prudent questions, and then you head to the garden where you have to balance their humors via flowers.
Okay, and so like once you talk to them, then it tells you like which colors of flowers you need.
It doesn't tell you. You have to guess based on clues. There'll be I can't invent the clues, but like I can see it.
Okay, all right.
Because I want it to be harder than that. I want you to get it wrong.
And the name is
A Humorous Doctor. No, I want flower planting to be in there. I think humorous is funny.
Planting humor.
Garden humor.
Flim flam. Flim flam. Collar. That's.
What's our time?
We've still got 45 seconds
That's not
left.
enough. I think maybe like just a humorous tale the doctor is in.
Well, you're not really you're a gardener.
Okay, a humorous tale the gardener is in.
Okay. All right. Gardening with you. Gardening with humor.
With humor. Okay,
there we go.
We
got it. We got it, folks.
Oh, I was nervous.
All right. Next timer in 3, 2, 1, go.
True material urgency. And I do just want to say that for some reason, true on the random word generator is in all caps.
Oh, so true has to take priority.
I don't know. That has actually never happened in the history of doing this on the randomwordgenerator.com, but here we are.
What's the third word?
Urgency.
Urgency. So there's a timer.
Yeah.
What's the second word?
Material.
Material. True material.
True material timed.
Okay. So I feel like there is I feel like I know the phrase, the term, the material true silver or something like that.
Okay.
From like a fantasy setting, so I'm looking that up.
Let's find out what that is.
It's a valuable metal in Lord of the Rings.
Okay. I don't know if we can we I don't think we
it's
can touch
true
that
silver.
IP.
True silver is a name for mithril.
Okay. Well, we're not ever making this game, so if we want to touch IP,
matter.
we can do it.
But I'm just thinking, like, let's extend this concept.
IP stands for intellectual property. Hey, I didn't know that for a long
Fair.
time.
Okay.
You said it to me many times before I finally Googled it when we were dating.
Oh, wow. So let's say that there's different types of materials, right? You're a miner, right? But you mine magical stuff. So you mine the true version.
True gold, true silver,
exactly.
True ruby.
You mine the true versions, but you have to sort it out. So you have to be able. So there's the mining phase, right?
Yep.
Where you mine a bunch of stuff.
You love that.
Yeah, I love multi-phaser. Yeah. There's the mining phase, which is like dig dug kind of. You're like going around and like you're just you're hitting bricks, and then the bricks explode and they turn into items that go in your inventory. And then once the mining phase is over, so the time limit is either like a cave in, or if we're sticking with this is never gonna get made, so we can IP. That's the Balrog shows up to scare you off, and so that's the time limit. Like once he's there, you've got to mine as much as you can
it's a
and
giant
escape.
devilish being in Lord of the Rings.
Or depending on whether you're a book nerd or a movie nerd, it might just be like a kind of big guy made of shadows.
Okay, I just want to make sure we know what we're talking about.
But so the enemy shows up. That's the urgency. So like you show up, you've got 30 seconds to mine as much as you can, and then get out. And then phase 2, investigating. You get like the microscope and you like compare samples.
Oh, cool. Okay, yeah.
And basically you lose a percentage of the money that your thing is worth for like upgrading like faster dig speed or
better magnifying glass,
better magnifying lens, better like lantern and stuff. Maybe you get like a device that like reveals more of the map at the start without having to explore or something. A timer that lets you hold off the Balrog for longer. So you're buying upgrades, but if you accidentally mislabel something, like if you are like, okay, yeah, this looks like true silver to me, and it turns out to be not true silver, then instead of being worth, a bunch of gold, your client is dissatisfied, so it's worth like 10% of its. Okay. Like if you sold it as silver, you would still get more than.
No, I like this.
Like selling bad product.
I like this.
And it's named
True Miner.
True Miner.
Heart of a Gemstone.
True Miner. Heart of a Gemstone. All right, with 1 minute and 3 seconds.
Oh, okay. You're all right.
I'm not gonna be able to beat True Detective, the mining game. So
True Miner.
yeah.
Part of a gemstone. All right.
And it also brings to mind Mindhunter, and there's just
There's
a lot going on
There's
with
a lot.
True Miner.
Yeah. No, you're right.
And it's got the colon, and we love the colon.
We love it. We did that with the first game too, right? I don't even remember what the first game was anymore.
No, that was
Gardening with
Humor.
With humor. Yeah, never mind. Okay. All right. We're ready
I'm
for
starting.
Oh, okay.
In
I got
3,
it.
2, 1, go.
This is
Is this unhinged?
It's unhinged. Okay. Brown. Owner. Sniff.
Owner, Owner?
Yeah, like someone who owns something.
I hate this.
I do too.
Brown and Sniff, you can't.
Yeah.
You can't.
Oh boy.
Because
An
now
owner,
my mind is just clouded by like,
is it a dog?
He who smelt it dealt it.
It could. Oh, I was
like
just thinking
you're trying to identify who farted in a crowd.
Okay, well then I'll go with my idea then. I thought it would be like a dog walking simulator.
Okay.
Because dogs sniff things.
And there are brown dogs. A big brown dog named Bagel.
I thought about it because of you gotta scoop the.
Oh, that's one way to do it.
But the stuff.
And then the dogs sniff and they help you identify treasure. Okay.
Another treasure game.
Yeah, we love treasure.
Dog walker, treasure hunter.
Dog walker, treasure hunter. Dog walker /
Okay, you
treasure
play
hunter?
as a person who's a dog walker by trade. So you're walking multiple dogs at a time.
Treasure hunter hobbyist.
Right.
You earn money by finding treasure with the dog walking to upgrade your treasure hunting gear and your dog walking gear. So you're managing both.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
And upgrading one doesn't necessarily like lend to upgrading
and
the
I don't know
other.
if this is too complicated
You get 7
for a game.
leashes.
But like maybe like some dogs that you walk are better than others at finding treasure. But like you also have to keep those clients happy. So if they don't want like your dog walking or you keep the dogs too long or whatever because you're trying to find treasure, then you don't get to use that dog anymore.
Yeah, and they can have like unhinged requirements like my dog must be walked alone, which like ruins your plan. Because you're like, oh, I was going to walk 7 dogs at once, but I have to walk this one alone. And if they ever find out that I'm not, they'll disown me.
Yeah.
They'll fire me.
Uh-oh.
Okay. All right. So gameplay loop.
Mm-hmm.
Get dog walking clients.
Yep.
Keep them happy.
Yep.
Upgrade your dog walking equipment.
Yep. With money.
You
found via treasure in the ground.
Via treasure in the ground. But you also have the treasure upgrade track, which helps you find more treasure to... I like it because at one level there's sort of like two different gameplay.
It's treasure hunting.
Yeah.
And we can say that the brown dogs are the best at finding the treasure to really tie brown in there a little bit better.
Okay. All right. So brown dogs are best at treasure and blue dogs are the slowest.
Dogs can't be blue. Well, I guess in a video game they can.
Yeah. That's also a reference to Legend of Zelda.
Oh.
Which I can get into, but not on the clock.
Because this is the end of our episode.
Yeah, I think we're done.
Oh, did we name it?
We
didn't name it.
No, I thought it was Dog Walker / Treasure Hunter.
Dog Walker Treasure Hunter. I don't think. Yeah, you're right. No, I like it. I like it.
We don't have to have the slash.
No, I like the slash visually. I don't want to say it verbally.
Oh, okay. So Dog Walker.
So you say Dog Walker Treasure Hunter. On the package, it's Dog Walker / Treasure Hunter.
Okay. All right. I'm down with that. 1 minute and 50 seconds left on the clock.
Well, that's our episode.
I'll talk about Blue Dog next time.
Okay. Well, that'll be our discussion.
I don't know if I can discuss.
No, it's probably not long enough.
Blue Dog.
Anyway, that's our podcast. You can find us on social media at Make That Game Pod. You can go to our website, makethatgame.com. It's a really good website. And you can hopefully sign up for our newsletter there if we do that really fast. You can, which is new. It's a new newsletter. New news. You can also
sign up for our newsletter.
Yeah, we have to
leave us a review on Apple Podcasts.
Yes, please leave us a review on whatever podcast platform you use.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And tell your friends. That really helps too. If you can say, hello, this is a cool podcast I like. You can email us, makethatgamepodcast@gmail.com. And if you heard a game today that just has to exist in the big wide world, we encourage you to get out there and make that game.